There you go.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. Up your shaft. Up your shaft. He's dead, Jim. 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 Fascinating. Fascinating.
Well. Here we are again. Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Original Series rewatch and recap podcast, where every week myself, Adam Ordahl Quinnell, and my co-host...
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Al Hirt here. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt and I, we get together in an undisclosed location just off Auto Row in the San Fernando Valley to discuss an episode of Star Trek The Original Series. We talk about what we talked about last week. We talk about the episode. We give a little review. We all have a very good time. And then in the end, we recommend, what are we watching other than Star Trek? And then that's pretty much the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that
What's
brings
up, everyone?
Yeah, what is up, y'all? We'll give you a second to respond in your car or whatever. I hope you're doing well. Thanks again for listening. If this is your first episode, that's pretty much it. That's how it works. We're gonna go through an episode of Star Trek, and we always start every episode out by asking Al.
Oh, yeah.
Al, what do you remember about last week's episode, which, of course, was titled, Let This Be Your Last Battlefield?
Oh, it was the one about the two aliens who had the same, I guess they had black and white face, but it was on, opposite sides.
Yeah, a split down the middle, a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Like a tuxedo cookie, like a black and white cookie.
Pretty much. And then one side, white side was on the left, and the other guy's white side was on the right. And that was the main difference. And they hated each other. And I guess, but we ended up agreeing with one of them. We were like, one definitely sounds like he's trying to liberate his people for rights, and the other one is kind of using oppressor kind of language.
Right.
And phrasing. But I think the thing that affected me the most was at the very end, they go to their planet or whatever, and the Enterprise is like, whoa, it's all on fire. Everyone's dead. Damn, there hasn't been anybody there in a year or so. And these two people are like, oh my gosh, what? I hate you still. And then they both end up transporting down and fighting on the planet. And it was just really dark and morbid. And Kirk was like, let's just leave.
Right?
What can we do? That's basically what he says, which is a good point. But it's just a very, I think the thing is, it kind of knocked, over your head again and again, racism is bad. And of course it is. It's just, it was intense in the sense of both of the guest stars did a really good job. And I think that was definitely the best part of the episode, was how stellar their acting was.
Yeah, I agree that the guest
kept you engaged.
The guest stars really carried that. Another instance of
it's a simple story.
But it's also another instance of way overpowered aliens.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
They could do anything that they needed to do. They could take control of the Enterprise, but they weren't able to take control of the self-destruct system until they learned about it.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's all kind of goofy.
The other thing, too, you were joking about a lot, is that they didn't really understand. They couldn't send a radio status back to their planet, hey, I just caught up with the other guy.
They have technology that can give you an invisible ship that will last 50,000 Earth cycles, solar cycles. He's been chasing this guy for 50,000 Earth years.
Yeah.
And it bummed me out. It made me curious, how the hell did they know so much about just regular ass Earthican white people? I don't understand how they knew so much about Earth people, that they're
cool, yeah.
You monocolored colored people are all the same. It's just ooh, yeah.
It helped expand the universe of Star Trek, but in the smallest way possible. I don't know. There was a couple of drop lines of like, oh yeah, I know you, or I know who you are, how you act, and all that. It was, what was that line in the Avengers when Thanos is like, oh, I know who you are, Stark. Like, not all of us are, or, all, not, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge of like, you're not the only one in this universe. Like, there's a lot bigger shit going on. But it's like they never build up all from that.
Not
that's
yet,
just a cool
though.
Line. Yeah, they got like
They're gonna turn him into
milk.
Doctor Doom now.
Oh, yeah, that's a really silly gimmick. But anyways,
I'm excited.
That.
I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Oh, slurp, slurp. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. Yum, yum, yum. Slurp, slurp. Gimme, gimme. Oink, oink. I'm a fucking pig.
But I was just giving that, though, where it was like, you monocolored people don't know. And it's like, oh wow, these beings obviously have a lot of power and stuff.
Well,
but
and have
they're
those
still fighting each other over this?
Have those
issue?
beings met monocolored people before?
Yeah, right.
Like, have they
Maybe
been
rumors.
oppressed by monocolored people? That's how he makes it sound, right? Like,
yeah, sort of. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, I feel like with a lot of these episodes too, I was talking with Adam about this before we started recording. Is like, whereas the earlier seasons had like 4 plots in the episode and they were all crazy, they all could have gone in different directions, and like sci-fi movies were made off of like, that little Purge subplot that we always like to talk about.
Yeah.
Like they just made this whole
Time.
brand of like movies and they're just like whatever. But now this season's like there's 1 or 2 stories or 1 plot, and it's very one key, one noted. There isn't too much depth, but there's like cool lines here and there, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get into that. I agree. Those are all good points. We'll get into that lack of depth, I think, in this episode.
Oh, for sure.
Particularly with wait. No. It's Spock
Gideon.
is the next one. Yeah, never mind.
Spock's the next one too.
Yeah. The Gideon one, this is fine.
It's good. Yeah.
This is just regular Spock stuff. He's not a fucking, like, he hasn't made any character development.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we talked about Let This Be Your Last Battlefield.
Yes.
This week we're talking about the Mark of Gideon.
Oh.
And
Dun, dun, dun.
there's a character named Gideon in that Disney show, Gravity Falls. That's the only thing I think about whenever I see the Mark of Gideon. This episode originally aired on January 17th. 1969.
Wow.
Right? And the synopsis from Christopher Marlowe, our scribe over at Paramount Plus.
Hey.
Kirk is abducted by aliens who wish to use him to help solve their overpopulation problem.
That's the whole episode.
This is they give away this twist in the next one as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I asked you before we watched it, before we watched that other episode before this one, before we went to record. That's why I said, do you know what the twist is? Because if you'd read the description, you would. But yeah, Kirk is abducted by aliens who wish to use him to help solve their overpopulation problem.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert indeed. And they show that overpopulation problem, etc.
Yeah,
and
it's very bizarre how they show it, but
so basically the Enterprise is on their way to Gideon, which is a planet that is not in the Federation, but they want it to be in the Federation. And they've agreed to like a bit of a summit, a negotiation.
Inspection kind of deal, but they don't want to talk to anyone except for Captain Kirk.
Except for Captain Kirk himself.
Captain of the Enterprise for some weird reason, but hey, that's how it goes.
Jimmy Tiberius Kirk. And he gets the coordinates to beam him down to the Senate chamber. I imagine that's where he's going, like in Star Wars, the Senate chamber.
Yes.
And he's getting ready to beam down.
But ruh-roh.
What happens? I'm just dragging. Hold on.
It's just kind of like he beams out and goes right back, what it seems like, into the Enterprise. But there's no one there.
It's pretty straightforward. Oh, wait, what? There's nobody there. But didn't we just have where he was on the fake Enterprise, or is that this one?
No, that's this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But this is giving it. There's like 15 episodes where they're on a fake Enterprise,
right?
So this feels pretty, I don't know, retreading, but also I think what freaked me out more was that he was just alone and no one knew where he was.
Yeah, dude, motherfucking Twilight Zone shit.
Yeah,
it reminds me.
weird.
It reminds me of that one where he was like out of phase with the Enterprise, and they're. See, so so Kirk
he's dead.
Kirk is just walking around the Enterprise. There ain't nobody there. Also the let's see here. The thumbnail for this episode shows a woman holding Kirk's face. So it's like, here we go.
Yeah, seriously. I think that was probably, I mean, it is the weaker part of the episode. I like the other end of Spock figuring out the issue and what's going on and like him arguing with the council guy or whatever.
So agreed. And this is a good example of like how they're showing Kirk being alone or on a kind of strange out of sorts Enterprise. They're using angles of these sets that they don't normally use.
Yeah.
Like when he's in there in the Enterprise, you see it from an angle where you never see the Enterprise. And that's definitely an intentional thing to like disorient the audience and give like a vibe. And then Kirk looks out and he sees a planet.
Or the
on the view screen.
They use that shot of the hallway where like you're used to seeing people walk through and it's just empty.
But there's nobody there. They should have had a tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Like a space tumbleweed, like a cyborg like a tumbleborg. A cyborg tumbleweed. I'm gonna use that. So Kirk's alone. And then we just now get the title sequence. Oh my gosh.
Really relish in it, you know.
Really fucking and he had a memory lapse and bruised his arm. That's what we find out. So Kirk, alone on the bridge of the Enterprise. It feels like it's going to be a minute. It's another title card, not over a planet or an exterior shot. He's in the hallway. It feels like it's going to be a minute before we get back to the rest of the crew. They're going to give Kirk's story. They're going to let Kirk's story have some legs for a minute here. And
they left off at a really strange place, like Kirk just alone on an Enterprise. Not this. I mean, obviously you think it's the same one. I don't know. It's very interesting how they unravel this mystery.
And I like Kirk's voiceover. He's got a bruise on his arm. That's a huge part of this fucking story, right? Yeah. And he just said, perhaps I had a memory lapse from when I fell and bruised my arm. And it's just like, dude, you bumped your arm and you think that accounts for all the fucking fucked up shit that's going on right now? Where's your crew, man?
Yeah, he must have bumped his head.
And then I was wrong. We get back to the rest of the crew pretty quickly because on the bridge of the Enterprise, Spock is meeting with over the view screen talking to the Gideon senators, the councils, the treaty people, and they're like, "Well, what the fuck, dude? Where's Kirk?" And they were like, "We gave you the coordinates." And Spock's like, "But we beamed him down to the coordinates you gave us, and that's where you are now, right?" So they go back and forth. And the Gideons seem like they definitely know what the fuck is going on.
They marked the coordinates again, too, though. That's very key.
I am not attempting, Spock says, I am not attempting to blame your personnel.
Dude, and this is just like master class of negotiation and like, you know, business speak of like weaving your way into accusing someone that they're doing something.
Yeah.
And then like his responses, the Gideon guy, is just masterclass of like, you know, very PR professional business response of like, oh, we'll get right back to you in just a moment.
Yeah, Spock really sarcastically calls him Your Excellency.
Yeah.
And this version of Spock is so much better and more deft than Spock in the next one. Mm-hmm. And notice he's not like holding a little fidget thing in his hand with a bunch of fucking buttons on it. We'll get to that next week.
Yes.
Next week. Spock says, we must acknowledge once and for all that the purpose of diplomacy is to prolong a crisis. Spock tasks Sulu with scanning every inch of the planet, which could take years, and Spock is like, well, then get cracking, you fucker.
Yeah, I love when he says that, though. He's had Sulu do that before, scan an entire planet angle by angle.
Right?
Piece
grid by
piece.
grid. Draw a grid and then look at it for years, motherfucker. We're not diplomats, Spock says. We're representatives of the Federation. Bones says, that doesn't mean we have to behave like children and listen to some fool lecture diplomat.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, everybody else is taking their frustration and they're putting it on Spock of like, man, they're acting like such assholes. They're treating you like shit. And Spock's just like, gotta calm down. You gotta play their game. Like, we gotta catch them in a lie and go behind her back eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
And that line's pretty good too when he decides to go behind their back. But that's way later.
And Spock even says, we didn't want to do this. The Federation did. He's like, we gotta fucking figure it out.
We have to, what is it? They check all the boxes and like make sure that they've literally asked every single person of authority before moving forward.
Right?
Whereas Kirk's like, let's just fucking do it.
Exactly. And then after Sulu says it'll take years and Spock is like, well, then get cracking, it cuts to Kirk, who runs into a spangly jumpsuit wearing lady.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's like, oh, she's going to hold his face, baby. Just like in that thumbnail, yo. She's going to get that face holding going on.
It's just so weird. Like, I can imagine in the room. Well, I guess I'll talk about it more after, but it's like, it feels like Shatner just like had a fun week and was like, let's just do these silly scenes, you know? Like,
oh my God, right?
Let's just have fun. Fuck it. She's hot.
Dude, and they're both like, why did you bring me here? Why did you bring me here?
What is it? Have you seen the movie? I haven't seen it, but it reminds me of Passengers.
I did watch it.
The couple wakes up on the ship.
They're not a couple. It's really fucking stupid.
Is it like this?
No, sort of. But it's dumb. Chris Pratt's character sucks in that. So, like,
yeah.
Chris Pratt's character wakes up. Like there's a malfunction with this colony ship that they're on.
Oh.
And Chris Pratt wakes up and he's awake by himself for years and he starts to go crazy. And then he fucking wakes Jennifer Lawrence's character up and he's like, it was a malfunction. Oh shit. And then they like fall in love with each other. Okay. And then he tells her, and I'm pretty sure he has to like kill himself at the end or something. Anyway, it sucked shit.
Okay, yeah, no.
It was one of my Saturday morning throwaway movies.
Yeah, right. It sounds like a laundry movie.
Sounds like a fucking aeroplane. Yeah, we live in an
airplane movie too.
We live in a. There you go. It does, just like the airplane going overhead. So this is O'Donna. This is O'Donna.
Okay.
And O'Donna doesn't know anything about what's going on. He asked her what happened before she came here. She said she was standing in a large auditorium with thousands of people pressed against her, screaming to get out.
And she was like, I was trying to get up and get some air. And then I just woke up here. And he's like, okay.
She says she isn't afraid, but Kirk is troubled. Like 430 people just vanished, dude. I'm glad you're troubled.
Yeah, it is very bizarre.
There's a very Kafka-esque sequence coming up here on the bridge of the Enterprise when Uhura says Starfleet refers the Federation to the Bureau of Planetary Treaties. Or no, Starfleet refers them to the Federation and the Bureau of Planetary Treaties who insist they go to Starfleet. So it's like they go to one people and they go, hey, Starfleet, Starfleet, well, who am I supposed to go to? And they say, go to the Federation. But when they talk to the Federation, they say you got to go through Starfleet. And this is where we find out that Starfleet and the Federation are two different things.
Probably.
That's what they say. So, they say like they can't. And I feel like it's like so. part of it is diplomacy. The Federation,
on it.
Like I think the Federation is like the diplomats, and Starfleet is like the ships and the fleet. Well, I don't want to say military because they're science mainly now. They're supposed to be, but yeah, they're like the science military. And I thought that was funny. Explorers. It was such like it was like it reminded me of Hermes on Futurama, the bureaucrat, like that would recommend that one person says go here, the other person says go to the other person.
Or in Godzilla too, where they have to go through all those hoops and ladder. Shin Godzilla, where they got to go through all that bureaucracy just to fire missiles.
Shin Godzilla and also minus one.
Yeah, there's a bit of that in -1.
So Kirk's trying to figure out what happened to the 9 minutes of his life that's missing from the time that he beamed down to the time that he woke up. Mm-hmm. And now, when they look at the view screen, there's no planet there anymore.
Yeah, it gets kind of freaky.
And he doesn't recognize this. First off, I don't think any human can like look at some stars and be like, these aren't like the stars.
Oh, no
I
way.
know that these stars are not.
No way.
Like
That was, when does that? Oh, that was the next. Someone says that in the next episode as well.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, like, it's one thing if you're looking at a chart
Yeah.
and it's like not matching up, but like, or if they have an overlay and it's like they go up, they have like an overhead projector and they put the clear plastic that's got there on it, and then it's like, oh, they don't match up.
I feel like the only gimme I have is like maybe they've been at Gideon for weeks.
Right?
And he just has those stars in his fucking head.
And this is so funny. This is another. So Spock's dealing with the fucking bureaucracy of the Federation and Starfleet, and then he's also dealing with the bureaucracy of the Gideons. So Spock,
Yes.
when Spock spoke to the Gideon Council earlier, he said, "Look, we want access to the planet to search for Kirk." And they go, "You can't do that. We can't let other people down here." And then they just, that's the end of it. And they say that they're going to make a search. The Gideon people are going to search their own place for Kirk. Good fucking luck.
God.
And so then he gets back to Spock and he says, Good news, Commander Spock. We've done a search. Kirk is not as you requested, he says. We made a most thorough search, and Kirk is not here. And Spock says, we didn't request a search. We requested access to the planet.
Yeah, it's so
You
awkward.
requested a most thorough search. It is what's thorough search.
Do you know what that line reminded me of, though? It's when the police go, "We investigated ourselves and found nothing."
Right? And Spock says, right? And Spock even says, your let's see here, your record on the subject is not precise, Your Excellency.
Yeah, it's like a really
This
awkward
Gideon
way.
guy is a real little fucker, you know?
Yeah, it's an unstoppable object with a movable force kind of thing. Or a movable object with an unstoppable force kind of deal. Where
And-
it's like we have Spock's logic against this councilman's wit, you know? Which is pretty clever, I think. Is probably this, again, most interesting part of the episode, I think.
Dude, this guy is a little pedantic motherfucker, dude.
Yes, technically.
And
And it's like, what is it? They lead it all up to, this was just a bunch of misunderstandings. It's so
Right?
awkward, but it totally makes sense.
So this Gideon council member insists on beaming one person up to the Enterprise before they beam somebody down, right? And this is what's so funny is like, why is Spock like beaming people back and forth when they don't know what the fuck happened to Kirk in the first place? So here we go. He's gonna, let's see here. Where do we get to? There you go. He's going to beam one person down to the council chamber, and they're going to send somebody up, a representative of the Gideon Council, up to the Enterprise.
But he sends Spock sends Scotty to man the transporter because, best engineer. We want to make sure everything is exactly correct.
Right? And this guy is Krodak. Now, he is definitely a character actor I've seen in other shit.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, he was on Boy Meets World. I probably saw him on that. He's Mr. Peterman. It's Izzy Mandelbaum Jr. on Seinfeld. Oh my God, the bodybuilding family of old people. Mandelbaum. Dude, that's fucking rad. Hold on, I gotta take a picture for my brother when he comes up. But yeah, that's fucking rad, dude. Like, what a hilarious guest star to have.
Hey, there we go. He sounds like he's been in the game for a long time.
Dude, absolutely. And now they're like, we've got to beam somebody down. Wait, so they don't get to beam anybody down?
No, I think they think about beaming us. They decide that they figure out that the coordinates are different.
So basically, they're trying to get Starfleet to get up Gideon's ass
and give them the right
give
stuff.
them the let them give them the
Access to the planet.
access to the planet to say, hey, let us beam down. We got to find Kirk. So they're convinced that now they know Spock has a suspicion that the Gideons have Kirk, or at least know something about what's going on.
Well, all this constant fighting too, and this awkward frontals.
And the ship is not. Nothing's working. Kirk is like trying to do stuff and it's not working. It's almost
weird.
like he's on a set of a TV show.
Yeah, seriously.
And then now the stars have stopped moving and he's like, has the ship slowed down? If you can believe that. Oh, and then of course, do they make out yet?
I don't know.
So
It's just a lot of fluff.
So there's
romantic fluff.
They're alone on the ship, and here's something that will be important later.
Oh yeah.
She talks about how it's so wild that they have all this space to themselves.
Oh yes.
And they mention that a lot, and she says, all of this space where I come from, people dream of it. Where I come from, people dream of it. And he's like, why? And she's like, well, there's overpopulation, right?
Yeah, he's like, she goes, we've never really suffered. But
Oh, no, she says, I don't know where she's come from.
Oh,
I
that's
totally
right.
forgot that her whole deal is like,
She's supposed
is
to-
she playing
yeah.
dumb or does she not know? And she's mad at him for suggesting that they try and figure out where she's even from.
Yeah, and honestly, she even suggests, I think that's way later, like, she suggests that they just be complacent and just hang out on
Yeah,
the
they just be
Enterprise.
together on the Enterprise
And he's like,
forever.
what in the fuck are you talking about? We need to figure this out.
And then she describes her Gideon, where she's like, there's no beach, no mountain, no library, no nowhere where a person can find themselves alone.
Yeah, it sounds pretty weird. Cursed.
Well, also, you don't really understand what that means until they show it to you later.
It's such a strange visual
Like,
representation.
make spaceships and leave, idiots.
Yeah.
Make fucking
it feels-
spaceships.
mhm.
You know about
They seem pretty
spaceships?
advanced.
You know about spaceships. You're on one now.
You made one.
Like, why?
You literally made one.
I just imagine like there are people making a spaceship and it just immediately filling with people. Like after they make it, they're like, God damn it, we fucking didn't even get it into space.
we left it parked in a garage and like it just gets open.
We were gonna get it in. We were gonna get it into space and then beam up people and like figure it out. But no. So she's like, I only know that I'm here and that I'm happy.
And they kiss.
And they kiss. And then.
Oh, do you know what this is? It's like a bunch of Adonises. Or not
Yes.
Adonis. Who is a god? Apollos.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Apollo heads.
Yes, and so while they're smooching and looking longingly into each other's eyes, there are a bunch of green faces appear on the view screen, like
Again. Yeah, like I just mentioned, my apologies. Apollo heads.
yeah, like
But they're all green.
they're all green. It reminds me of in Futurama when Fry and Leela are in the monkey zoo, like a zoo, and they don't know it. And at one point they look out and all the stars are flickering, and then it turns out those are people's flashes from their cameras, monkeys. And so, who are these green faces?
Dun, dun. It just gets creepy. And it's like, oh, well, this is definitely not the Enterprise.
I guess I fast
They look
forwarded
like a
it
bunch of
through.
zombies too.
I fast forwarded it through the Mandelbaum guy. He beams up to the ship and then down right away just to test that the coordinates were correct.
Yeah.
And Kirk and O'Donnell are now starting their time together on the Enterprise, and he is so worried about that bruise. He is just cannot get enough of worrying about his bruise from when he passed out for 9 minutes. I don't even remember how this happened. He's acting like, and he kind of is just looking at it. He's acting like he's never bumped his fucking arm before, dog. Yeah. Like, dude, you bumped your arm. Like, what are you
dropped it hours ago?
What are you worried about? And now they hear drums, and he says, "I know every sound that this ship could make, and this is coming from outside. We wouldn't be able to hear a storm." Because she says, "What if it's a storm?" You're gonna enter your planet's ready for the Federation of Planets, and you're like, what if there's a storm outside?
The shutters, they rattle. Imagine. I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good point, Adam. I didn't think about that. She's not a very good fibber,
Yep.
She's like, it sure is windy outside. And he's like, in fucking space.
Yeah, dude. and like, oh, there they go.
Oh my God, that's so gross. This is a horrifying image.
And then he opens one of the windows, and before the windows could like play the video of the stars, you see a bunch of Gideons just like staring in and watching them. It's like, you can be packed in somewhere without looking like a bunch of fucking creeps, dog. Like, hey, don't they realize that?
Kirk like leaps over and hugs, what's her name? Odana. It's so funny. He's like, oh my God. And they fade away.
Right. And so Kirk accuses her of, let's see here. There's a bunch of green people. It's just like the Monkey Zoo in Futurama.
Yeah, and I guess
Kirk says they could be a
heartbeat effect too. That was kind of cool.
I like that. They use that a lot.
Boom, 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 boom. Tense.
Boom, boom. And so Kirk says it could be a mirage. Kirk gets mad at her. He suggests that maybe she killed the crew so that she could have the ship to herself. And it's just like, dude, you just suggested that she killed 430 people or whatever.
Yeah, right.
She's
on
just
her own.
She's suggesting they be content, and he's like, I can't be content. There's 430 people that have disappeared. Did you kill my crew? And then
he's like, what's happening? Seriously, why the fuck are we here?
And then, as sometimes Star Trek likes to do, you're now watching this scene between Odana and Kirk on a screen within the screen where we're watching Star Trek. What? And there's the fucking Gideon Council who said they didn't know where Kirk was.
They're watching a
who
play-by-play.
said they're just watching it. It's not even a play-by-play. It's just
true.
live stream, baby. They're just like watching a Twitch stream of Kirk's interactions on this, what we find out to be fake ass Enterprise.
Yeah, really.
And so she's like sick now, right?
She fainted. Yeah.
And Kirk says there isn't sickness on her planet, but she says now there will be. There will be death.
She's like, okay, you're pretty hung up on this. He goes, Bones could fix you up like in 2 seconds.
Right? Yeah, it's just,
this isn't really an issue.
And she's like, no, everybody must die. There will be death now on my planet. And then it shows the council has all of these green people like packed in outside the council chambers.
Yeah, they're like sardines just shaking.
Maybe people are all packed in because they have so many council chambers that they have to keep people out of. Like, and that's such a political ass thing to do. Like, so the Olympics. So
they put him right there.
So the Olympics are coming to Los Angeles, right? And it's a big thing, and I think it's fucked up, and I hate the Olympics committee, and they're gonna bonk all the unhoused people on the head and send them to jail for the time of the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the reasons I think SCOTUS. I'm not a conspiracy person, but anyway, they're gonna bonk all the unhoused people on the heads. But this is so similar to that because
Sorry, I was just imagining
that's what they do. That's Gavin Newsom just wants to go bonk unhoused people on the head with like a cudgel. And so this reminds me of that because they had to get people out of those council chambers so that they could set up the camera picture to talk to Spock. Like, they couldn't just talk to Spock with everybody crammed in around them. Like, they had to be like, we have to make this much area. Like, I think they should have gone one further.
Had sheets over them.
I think they should have gone one further and just had people just packed in and like they're creating the walls kind of around them. And I don't know, but
that'd have been hilarious.
So then
a bunch of extras.
So then Kirk sees this Gideon guy. And they said, we're going to take care of her. And he said, but you don't have medicine or whatever. You can't take care of her. And he goes, no, we're going to take care of her. And he goes, you did well, my daughter.
And it's like,
so the counselor got his daughter sick on purpose, basically.
Yeah.
And then he says, guard the captain well, for we shall need him for a long time. Cut to commercial.
Once again, Kirk is creeped out by this weird planet and their habits.
Yeah, dude.
He's just like, what the fuck is going on? This Enterprise isn't mine?
Yeah, and now...
He's more worried about the ship, honestly, I feel.
Right? Yeah. He's like, oh, well, maybe that means the crew's alive, but then what's happening to the ship? So Starfleet is saying, hey, we're not going to let you start a war by beaming down to this planet and searching for him. And he says, the captain has been taken prisoner, and he says, we can't prove that. And then Spock says, I know where the captain is being held. He's being held at the same place where we transported him. And he said they would not dare do them harm in the council chamber. And he says, sir, he is not being held in the Gideon council chamber. He is being held nearby.
Yeah.
And then the admiral's like, well, fine. So you know where he is, but why is he there? It's just like, dude, well, shouldn't the fact that he's there be enough, you motherfucker?
Yeah, he's like, his life needs to be actively in danger. They need to put a camera on him like they did in Arena.
Yeah.
And just watch him die.
And Spock says, your inaction on this will be noted. And the guy's like, so noted.
He's like, your decision's arbitrary, dude. Like, I'm going to write this down.
So then we get the councilman and his daughter. And she's telling him what it feels like to die.
Yeah, this part's cursed. She's like, Daddy, what's it like? He's like, you'll feel really bad, and then you might not recognize us. And she's like, oh, God, I want to see Kirk before I can't recognize people. And he's like, what?
Right?
Kirk's like, yeah, we kind of did some things.
Dude. And he's like, your courage is so vegan. Your courage is inspiring. And so basically he's saying, Kirk is saying that's a very rare disease. And I had it and it almost killed me. It'll kill her in 24 hours. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yes, I found out about that during your negotiations. It was in the info packet about your missions. And so that's when his arm got hurt. They took his blood and they made the disease and then they infected her. And he's like, sorry if we hurt you. We don't have any phlebotomists. We literally don't ever have to do phlebotomy. So they were just kind of poking around in there.
Yeah, we had to guess.
We had to guess where your veins were. We were unforgivably awkward to have hurt you. And now they're going to keep him forever because they need to keep his diseases on tap.
I guess they couldn't just put it in a vial and duplicate it or something.
They got to get more and other diseases. He's like a petri dish of death.
The golden goose of
and
death.
Then he karate fights these two guys.
Yeah,
the two guards.
We get a little bit of action, but they eventually catch Kirk. Kirk's like, you're mad. You sicko, you're killing your own daughter.
Right? And I think they end up explaining this, but I'm just like, why don't they sterilize all the guys?
Yeah, what? It's so weird.
Do they cover that? I can't remember.
They have so many more science fiction solutions that they could have thought of, but this one just seems more of mischievous and we just got to make a plot out of it. So
yeah,
let's have them do this.
So basically, Spock is saying, I have to violate Starfleet's orders to find Kirk.
Oh, yeah, and Bones is like, hell yeah, that's probably the most sensible thing you've said all day.
Right? And then now this is great. She gives the original beam down coordinates, Ohhhh, and then he says, Mr. Scott, which point's given to you?
Yeah.
The coordinates don't match. It took you that long to identify that two fucking numbers are different than each other? Holy shit, dude.
No, I guess he plays it off as he knew something was off because the numbers were off. but then like he kept trying to pry further and further to prove it. I don't know. It just feels really silly, but you're right. Like they definitely should have handled that way sooner.
And then
He should have been like, hey, the coordinates you gave me were not right.
they're not the same.
Yeah.
I looked at the two sets of
It was
numbers.
weird. He like played into their gimmick, but yeah, then Spock was like, fuck it, I'm going in myself. Scotty, you have the con. Bones is like, let me go with you. And he goes, nope, not going to have another Starfleet officer disappear and disobey Starfleet's orders. And he's like, fuck you.
So Spock then disobeys Starfleet orders on his own, beams down to an empty Enterprise. He tries using this reminds
It's like
me
the
of when...
phasing one.
Yeah, it's also like the going faster one.
Speed Force, yeah.
The Speed Force one, yeah. And he's just going to show up and be like, oh, hey, Kirk.
Pretty much.
So...
Oh, go ahead.
No, the jig is up for these Gideon people, right?
Yeah,
because he's like, you told the Federation that your place was a paradise and that your people were fine and there were no fucking whatever. There was no diseases. And he says, and that was true. A long time ago, it was true. The atmosphere on Gideon has always been germ-free. But the problem is, people don't die. And the people flourished in their physical and spiritual perfection.
Yeah, Kirk was like, I thought this planet was dope.
Dude,
It is. It's too amazing.
It's so amazing that no one ever died.
Yeah, he's like, death technically happens when the cells in your body dies and they can't regenerate. We just kept regenerating.
So isn't it weird that they never figured out just chop off the heads of people? Like, you know what I mean? Like every
Shoot
other
me out of a cannon,
dude.
dog.
Well, no, every other society that they've met would have something like the red time or something like that
Oh
that
my
would
gosh.
like population control.
I mean, we got people who look slightly different murdering each other for fun, in the last episode. So I don't know. You're totally right, though. I was saying, it's like I was saying earlier, there's multiple sci-fi solutions to this, and they just picked the most back-assed, like, weirded way to go about it.
Here we go.
But yeah, the shots of the fucking people in the back and the population, and they're just like shuffling around, like looking where to stand. It's so awkward, but it is kind of terrifying at the same time.
So only the very old people ever die because it's when the body can no longer regenerate itself, like you said. And then he says, and the birth rate, now the birth rate keeps increasing, right? And the birth rate continued to rise, and the population grew until now Gideon is encased in a living mass who can find no rest, no peace, no joy. Why don't they wear condoms? Like, what the fuck?
Right. There's no
there we
birth
go.
control.
Then why haven't you introduced techniques to sterilize men and women? Kirk mentions it. And then Gideon says every organ renews itself. When we tie the tubes, they untie. When we snip the testicle tube, it unsnips.
Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip.
And then they say, we have ultimately also always believed life is sacred. It's like, there it is. I see, you fucking idiots. I get it now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then Kirk was like, but you're gonna kill your daughter right now?
Does not compute. So
it's really bizarre though that I don't know. It's just this whole. They could have thought about it another way. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll provide examples when the episode's over. But I'm just trying to think like. Just introducing a disease this way just feels kind of weird.
And he says we are unable to destroy that with the creation of love so deeply, life. So they say that, but then the so many of these things, it's a fucking from fetus to developed being, and it's so funny because you can see on Kirk's face that he's pro-choice. Yeah, he's like describing pro-life shit to him, and he's like looks disgusted. He's like, God damn it, you fucking... And see, there you go. And he says, we can't kill a young girl. And he said, we're just trying to readjust the life cycle of our entire people. And Kirk's like, by killing your daughter? Why don't they just randomly execute people? I don't get it. So if you chop their head off, it regenerates.
Regenerate into a whole new body. They're like a worm.
Oh, look at this. This isn't that convenient. This Gideon guy says, my love for my daughter is too deep to display.
Again, the PR fucking business 101 masterclass talking.
My pride in her runs even deeper. It's like, I care about this thing so much that you can't even tell I care at all. Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a little... I care too much. I care so much, I can't even describe the care about how much I care.
I care so much, I have to kill everybody. Like, how many psychos have said that throughout history? You will stay, he says to Kirk. Your blood will provide it.
Yeah, it reminds me of the other episode when they try to convince Bones to stay on that like telepathic planet, and they're just like, no. No, that's not a good idea. I don't want to stay. It's so funny how like the Enterprise has been through so much shit, and still people can just be like, yeah, you're gonna stay. Just cause.
And then he says she would hope that you would love her and stay with her. And Kirk says, so that was your plan, that I would fall so under her spell that I would just let you use my diseases forever to kill your people. It's like when you put it like that. when you put it like that, sure.
Yeah, they both kind of like awkwardly. Both of the councilmen awkwardly like stare at the table when Kirk is saying that. Meanwhile, though. On the fake Enterprise.
And they're also Kirk is on the fake Enterprise with those guys too. They're all just hanging out on the set.
The room, yeah. But Spock calls Scotty, and he's like, "I'm on the Enterprise." Scotty's like, "No, you're not," and he's like, "No, I'm literally on the bridge of the Enterprise." And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, and it's so funny because Spock, who's all logical and shit, he can't say, "I'm clearly standing at the recreation of the Enterprise." And they were correct. I'm on board an exact duplicate of the Enterprise.
Yeah, he finally gives it away after all this BS.
Gideon is in orbit, and the ship is in orbit around Gideon. Bunch of fucking weirdos, and they're looking for Kirk still. The Gideons have transported Kirk. It's his intention to locate the captain.
And he's like, well, now I know for sure that Jim's life is in danger.
Right? And he should, but he can't call the Admiral about it, because then he fucking did a thing. It was wrong to find out the right thing, and two wrongs don't make a right thing.
So anyways, Kirk goes back to O'Donnell's.
To watch O'Donnell's deathbed side.
Yeah, and he's like trying to comfort her basically and convince her for Bones to help fix her. Right? But then her father comes in. What's his name?
Her father is... Her father is Admiral Fitzgerald? No, wait. He would be up here. David Hoden. Her father is Hoden.
Yes. He's a great guest star.
O'Donnell looks like the woman from Schitt's Creek. I can't remember. I can't remember her name. She's awesome though. She's so fucking funny. She does look a lot like her.
Look like her,
and kind of like Sarah Squirm from SNL. So she's dying, and then let's see here. He says, "Let me cure you. I can cure you. I can cure you." And she's like, "If you cure me, will you stay with me forever?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Then I shall die."
Yeah, right. He's like, "Well, and then fly on an Enterprise and stuff."
Oh my God. I love how Hoden's guards are just these guys wearing like all black. Like,
whatever, it's space.
You should look up Conan O'Brien pubes. There was a character on Conan O'Brien named Pubes, who was played by this very funny guy, and he dressed just like this, except he had a shirt except it said pubes in white print on his shirt. So Spock neck pinches these Gideon guards, and then he goes in.
Just immediately. It's like no action at all. He's like, bing, bing.
Oh, and she's not dead.
No, Kirk picks her up, and he's like, hey, beam 3 of us out of here.
We're getting the fuck out of here, motherfucker. And so they beam up to the Enterprise. And then they brought her back to life. They saved her.
Like, yep, you made it. It was close, but you made it. It's so weird. This is they interact this time with, what is it, Kirk and his love affairs, whereas
Right?
he still has the teardrop of that the other chick on his hand.
Yeah, exactly. He's still obsessed with her.
He's like, you kind of look like her. And she's like, who? He's like, whatever.
Yeah, and O'Donna is like, I'm sorry. After the way I deceived you, you still help me.
Oh God, the line's super cheesy. She's like, how do you look upon me even though I deceived you? And he's like, well, you're giving me permission to look at you. So there's that.
You've got I like the privilege of letting me look at you, he says. The privilege of letting me look at you.
That's great.
And he's smiling.
It's a fedora tip.
And she says, I can take your place here. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, dang.
She's got to stay. Yeah, she's got to go back to the packed in place.
Yeah, she's responsible.
And Kirk is like, no, I'm glad all these people are back on the ship. It's so crowded. And she goes, this seems crowded to you? I'm going to go back down and fucking suffocate in a mass of unwashed people.
Oh my God, this is awful though.
Dude,
This is giving what he's left a Tholotian lady to her demise as a queen, right?
Yeah,
And
they
he's
got that
now
lady killed in the street in the past.
Exactly, yep. And then this other lady they had to leave. Remember, she was in the Speed Force?
Yes.
And he's like, we gotta leave you in the Speed Force.
Right.
Sorry, bye.
Bye.
And Bones is like, we have the cure for the Speed Force. Nope, let's just go.
So I missed something where we were while we were fast forwarding or talking about it, but wait, so how do they don't resolve this planet's overpopulation problem or anything? They just beam her back down and then they go.
It's like, you'll have to deal with the Federation and Starfleet.
Oh, there you go. There, yeah. Yep.
Peace.
So I guess because Starfleet will help them, Starfleet will give them space stations and like places for people to go where there are places for them.
It reminds me of when they found that planet with only the children. And Kirk's like, whatever, Starfleet will send teachers and fucking social workers and shit. They'll figure it out.
Yep.
It's like, dun, 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 dun,
I remember that. Yeah,
just
dude.
Fly away.
So I figured it out now. She said that she's going to go back to Gideon and take Kirk's place as the pincushion. But so the Federation is still going to allow them to engineer a fucking biological weapon that like introduces disease to these people instead of just giving them space stations to live on.
No, it doesn't really make sense.
Go explore. You're in the Federation now. Join the Federation. They could use.
You know what warp is?
Do you know about are any of you engineers? And they're like, what's an engineer do? They get to leave the planet. I'm an engineer.
Yeah, right.
I'm an engineer.
I'll study right now.
And that's it. So Kirk sends her back down to be a petri dish of death. And then the Enterprise just flies away from a digitally remastered planet.
It's so funny, too, because he's like, man, I can't believe you're going back to Gideon, you know? And she's like, yeah, I wish that planet could just hold one more person. And it's cutting to Kirk, like, opening the door, like, fucking.
Yeah, he's just pushing the button, like, get her.
Like, all right, let's get him.
Peace out.
Till next week, folks, you know?
So I thought this episode was kind of mid.
I think it was funner talking about it than watching.
Yeah, I think
honestly.
watching it together was more fun than just watching it on my own, which sometimes is a thing. I'm just going to go through my kind of notes I didn't want to forget.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So Spock is like, we fixed the transporter, let us beam down. But that's a lie. They hadn't fixed the transporter. They didn't even know what was fucking wrong with it yet. And there was nothing to fix. They just couldn't compare two numbers together.
Oh,
and
yeah, go ahead.
And I really like the line, can you remember why your people dream of being alone? And she says, because there never can be. There are so many of them. Population control. Each one of us would kill to find a place alone to oneself. They would willingly die for it. This kind of society would not last as long as they did. They wouldn't get to this point, I don't think.
It was really funny just seeing the shots of the crowds of people behind the councilman, too.
Yeah, and I will say that it did take me way too long to realize that they needed a disease because of their overpopulation. And also, why not stop fucking? That's the other thing. Kirk says, why don't you introduce sterilization methods? And they say, the organs reproduce themselves. It's like, then just don't fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you could just not fuck, and that would be fine. And then because they heal, and it's like, well, why not just wear condoms? Well, shut up.
Yeah, right. We love life.
Yeah, like why not sterilize men and women? They heal. Well, why not wear condoms? Life is sacred.
The organs come back.
And now Spock nerve pinches some motherfuckers. Wouldn't they heal immediately from the nerve pinch? They do essentially kidnap O'Donna to heal her, which is not great. And then Bones heals her against her will. But then now she's able to take Kirk's spot. So whatever.
Yeah,
what did you think? I'll give my rating after you.
Yeah. Let me think. Just looking back on the episode, I just remember it being very dull. I was just more mad that this whole, like, it was a faux, like, love story from the beginning, it felt like. And then Kirk just didn't give a shit the whole time. That's how it felt. And then, like, she really cared. But then at the end, she was like, oh, I'm sorry I tricked you, but I still really like you. And Kirk's like, I don't care. I just want to go. And it's like the way more interesting plot was Spock being like, yo, what the fuck? We know he's down there. I don't know why you're acting this way, but I'm going to try to ask my boss to tell you to quit acting like an asshole. I'll be right back.
Right?
Let me CC you. It just felt like a corporate like episode of just them going back and forth between all these pencil pushers.
Bureaucracies.
Yeah, bureaucracies.
I did actually like that. Mm-hmm. Where it's like the Federation and Starfleet, and then also the Council of the fucking assholes. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I don't know, like you said too, where it just took them way too long to figure out the coordinate thing. Oh, and then what else I thought was funny was that, I forgot, this was a very funny point in the episode when the councilman was like, well, maybe your engineer is a little too, excited, and maybe he kind of tweaked the transporter. And Scotty's like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I would never tweak a transporter. I'm Scotty, god damn it, you like, fuckers.
Spock, you better fucking say something, otherwise I'm going to be pissed, and da-da-da-da-da. And Bones is always on Spock's ass.
Right?
This was nice. It was refreshing to see Spock kind of handle his shit and then finally be like, you know what, fuck this, we're gonna go after Kirk. But I don't know, I think just going back through it, one half of the episode was good and the other half was like, no, it just wasn't there. I guess in terms of it just felt like a nothing burger.
Did kind of feel like a nothing burger.
No, and then the heads that come out in space, you're like, whoa, what? Whoa! That's crazy. And then I think the overpopulation thing, when you were talking about LA and the Olympics, I was like, wouldn't it be crazy if they just shoved all the homeless people behind like the commentators? Just like they just put them all in a fucking box. Yeah. They're like, we just fit them in there because, overpopulation.
Nah, they're just going to.
So weird.
They're just going to put them in jail.
Oh, of course. But it was like such a cursed. It was just such a cursed image. It was like, what a weird way to display overpopulation. I feel like it would have definitely been more comedic, though, if, like, during the phone calls, they were just all shoved on the side, And
yes, definitely. Like, and you couldn't see, they're just, like right off camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. There's things we could have improved. But
so, how many green overpopulated faces did you give this out of 5?
I always think, is it watchable? Like, can somebody sit down and have a good time and watch this? And that's like a 3 out of 5. I would say maybe it's a little under. I would say like 2.5 faces.
I was gonna say 2.5 to 2.75.
Yeah,
2 3/4. Not quite a 3. Not quite a 2.5. Really?
I'm like on the lower end, 2 to 2.5 faces.
Yeah,
because I just didn't. Like I said, I really just like the Spock's parts, and just like I earlier too, it just felt like. Shatner came in the writer's room and was like, I want to have a fun week this week. Like, let me just have these weird romantic scenes with a girl that doesn't really make any sense and da-da-da-da-da. Oh, and then another nerdy part of me just came out, though, because I'm watching Enterprise now. and I saw Kirk mention to what is her name? I always forget. Odonna. Sorry,
like the Buddy Holly song. Odonna.
So he mentions to Odonna, he's like, well, we do have 5 years worth of food, for 450 people. And I was like, 5 years. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Because in Enterprise, God, I forgot that guy's name, but this one engineer explains how they use all the waste in the ship.
They recycle the shit and then turn it into stuff for the
recycle the atoms for the what is it called?
Replicator. Yeah, no, that's the thing.
They already explained that, and then I was like, well, I guess they didn't obviously think about it. One of those gripes comes up on the next episode too, as well. But it's just interesting how what's the word? I don't know. They're missing one more thing, If they sat with it for a little longer, I feel like this plot could have been cooler. Like the compendium itself, I just finally read it online. The compendium even had a question at the end. It was like, why the hell did it just recreate an entire Enterprise? Like, what was the purpose of that? To freak Kirk out?
Yeah, why didn't they just beam him down and just have a... They could have just beamed him into a cell.
Something else.
They could have just beamed him into a fucking cell.
At least it wasn't like a black room, like those people torturing them in the other episode.
Yeah, but it's not like they're fucking... It's not like they were using him like they need him to do something he would normally do so they see how to do it,
Cut to the chase, basically. And also the other question...
2.5.
Yeah. The other question, though, that the compendium brought up that I thought was interesting was, what is it? Why isn't Kirk more immediately suspicious of this random chick on board?
He kind of is.
He is at the beginning, and I did notice that you noted that, where he's asking about, like, where'd you come from? Why don't you remember? What's going on? But, like, after that, he's like, oh, whatever, she's pretty attractive. Like, I'll figure this out on my own. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just kind of disconnects.
We got time.
From the other character, so...
Yeah. I didn't think it was that great. 2.5.
But anyways.
And that's our discussion of the Mark of Gideon. And Al, what are you recommending this week?
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know. Let me see. There is a new album. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. Muramasa.
I think maybe you did, but
I did.
Recap.
There's another one. This another guy named MPH, I don't know, miles per hour, right?
Move.
I don't know what he was trying to do.
Move.
It's an album called Refraction. It's pretty cool. He does usually like UK garage and stuff, but there's a really good dubstep song on here. It's a really good drum and bass song on here. It's a very clean, very 2024 EDM. It's like... If you wanted to see where the needle was going, this was it. Because there's all the hype and stuff in the mainstream acts, but I feel like this is where a lot of people are just going to try to copy and imitate. So it'll be pretty good. It's
MPH.
pretty good. Yes, Refraction.
I recommend everybody go see Alien Romulus and form your own opinion about it. I saw it. It's good. It's not good. It's like 85 minutes of the hour and 45-minute runtime is the best Alien movie since Aliens in 1987. And then the end of it, they just blow it like they always do with these fucking Alien movies.
See, that's what I heard
you have
as
no
well.
idea.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta see it, but especially when you know me and what I think about Prometheus and all that shit, like, they fucking got me, dude. Like, I was, at 85 minutes, I was just like, this fucking rips. And then it's like Prometheus. Like, it's like they just remind you it's a Prometheus movie. And like, but I still recommend you go see it. It's lots of great practical alien effects. The face huggers are really cool.
Yeah. Those face huggers are trending. They're coming back.
Yeah, he did a good job. Fede Alvarez did a good job. I think he's got to stop making franchise stuff, but he's good. So that's
Maybe,
it.
This will be his movie to make his buck, and then he could just take it and do some indie shit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
people do that.
he also did the new Evil Dead. That was him too.
Yeah.
Or no. That was Lee Cronin.
yeah,
that was
yeah.
he did the Evil Dead remake / sequel from like 2013.
Oh.
The one where the lady cuts her fucking face off with
Yeah,
broken glass, and you like
yeah.
hear it scraping the bone of her face. That's a fucking hard scene. It's good.
And there's the one with the tree, right? In the
Yeah.
woods that like
No, there's-
fucking abducts her.
Well, that happens in a couple of them, but yeah, I think that's also in that one.
Yes,
But
yes, I remember.
So watch Alien Romulus, formulate your own opinion.
Oh,
You could just
MPH.
shut it off at 85 minutes if you want, and go listen to MPH, and the album is
Refraction.
Refraction. And that's it. Next week we will be back to discuss. To discuss That Which Survives.
I was about to say Mark of Gideon, but we just
did that. So next week, come on back and listen to That Which Survives.
Ooh.
Check out all the stuff in the bumper. Do all the things like subscribe.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your week. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam, mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials, and you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking world.